I think AI can contribute to narrow the gap between people with disabilities and without disabilities. In this way, people with disabilities can participate in our society actively.
Chieko, thank you very much for joining us today at the IFA 2023 live podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting.
That's okay. How was your journey over from Japan?
Oh, it was now a long trip. It's going to take like maybe 14 hours to Frankfurt and come to Berlin addition.
That's a long flight, but
Right.
we're so happy to have you here because I love the work you've been doing. It's
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really awe-inspiring. So to get straight in, what's the current state of assistive technology for blindness? Where are we at as an industry?
So I'm very excited for the tremendous potential of the technology for the blind today being researched. So AI will eventually help us to see the world and substitute our vision. So vision language AI research, for example, was motivated by the needs of people with visual impairments. And scene captioning capability in the vision language AI is a great example. I'm really excited to use such scene description capability in daily lives. So maybe when we are out, the technology can explain what's around us, explain scenes for us. So the new life will be opened. 4 years ago, if you ask scene captioning to describe it, it could only, describe something like a train was traveling down on the street. Instead of cobblestone street, it said just street. And instead of a yellow tram, it just said a train. So you can, tell the difference, how technology has been progressed. Another maybe great example is ChatGPT. If we try to obtain information using voice synthesis, it's going to take time. If the, text is long, it takes long. If the text is long, it takes time. But we can always ask ChatGPT, please summarize it. We can even ask, please summarize it in 500 words or 1,000 words, things like that. So, ChatGPT has great potential to improve our productivity and change our quality of life. So there are similar examples. One more example.
Oh, of course, I love getting examples. It's utterly fascinating.
So let me talk about robotics.
Yeah.
Now, we see many robotic technologies, and even this event is okay.
Yeah.
IFA is better. So even during this IFA event, we can see many new robots. So it's really exciting. So I hope, in the near future, we would have the third aid for us to move around. And that is something we are working, and maybe I can tell about it later. So I cannot stop talking about the, potential of the technology for the blind. But I really expect major breakthroughs soon.
Yeah, that sounds. That sounds all incredible, and I think what's most exciting about that is so much of it is already here and happening now. But what do you think the next steps are? How is this being improved? So, how can ChatGPT and these image describers get even better to assist people who are blind?
Okay, so generative AI has just been appeared since last year, right? So, people still, people still try to figure out how such AI is going to be used in our society. But I think we need to inform. Such AI is going to be very, very helpful for the blind people. Maybe not only the blind people, but any people with disabilities. So we really need to inform. AI will change the lives of people with disabilities. I think AI can contribute to narrow the gap between people with disabilities and without disabilities. In this way, people with disabilities can participate in our society actively, which means our society is going to be more and more inclusive and diverse. So, uh, but maybe researchers, developers, engineers still don't know how we disability want to use their technology yet. So it is very important, to inform and to increase the awareness of, this kind of needs. And that is why I'm here today.
Well, that's what's so amazing about technology, right? I think you laid it out perfectly, where it can just make the world a more equal place, and can really create a level playing field in ways that we couldn't imagine before. And yeah, especially what you said about especially putting technology in the hands of people with disabilities, because then they're the best place to actually tell people and tell researchers what works and how they're doing. And I think one of the things that I found fascinating about yourself is your work on the AI suitcase. So yeah, I wondered if you wouldn't mind talking to me about that a little bit, like how you came up with it and what it
Okay.
is, and yeah, how it works.
Okay, thank you for the question. So now my research focuses on the real world accessibility, because currently while walking in the city, I cannot recognize what's around me, what's in a shop, if there is a line or if my friend is approaching. I cannot perceive these visual information without technology. And that is my research challenge today. So the AI suitcase, it's a navigation robot for the visually impaired. And the idea came up from my own experiences. I travel alone a lot, and I noticed it one day while pushing my suitcase forward at the airport. My suitcase hit the wall in front of me. My suitcase fell down a small step in front of me. And I thought by integrating AI and models, the suitcase can be a navigation robot and can be my new travel companion.
Sounds like a good companion.
Yes. So that was, when I came up with this idea. So after that, I, challenged to make it real. I have been working on the AI suitcase project in 2017. And maybe I have already prototyped 4 or 5 generations.
Oh, wow, so lots of work.
So the AI suitcase is a carry-on size piece of luggage. So you can carry it onto the aircraft. On top of the suitcase, we have 2 types of sensors. One is a LiDAR sensor, and another is a depth camera. LiDAR sensor detects walls, obstacles, 360 degrees. Depth sensor detects pedestrians. Inside of the suitcase, on the right side, there is a personal computer. It controls maps, and it will calculate your position and then communicate with users. On the left hand side, there is a GPU computer. It does image analysis, like detecting humans.
Okay.
And center, there is a battery. This battery lasts like 3 hours. And handle is very, very special. This handle is smart handle. So when you hold the handle, it starts moving because touch sensor is embedded under the handle. And there are 3 vibration devices on top, left, and right side of the handle. In this way, our system can notify users before turning right or left.
Very clever.
And also there are several buttons. By pressing the buttons, you can adjust walking speed. You can adjust your speed 0 to 1 meter per second. So that is a brief hardware spec. So let me talk about the user interface.
Yeah, of course.
The user interface is very simple. You just need to hold a handle, and it starts moving to a destination. You can select your destination by using a smartphone. That's it.
I mean, that's great because everyone has a smartphone now. All you need to do is connect that and you're all good.
And, if there is any obstacle on the way, smartphone will notify the information. And when you reach to a destination, you can hear the information through the smartphone. So that's it. Technology inside is very, very complicated, but the user interface is very simple. I always like a simple user interface. I don't want to, spend much time to learn to use any technology.
No, you just want it to get out the box effectively and then make it work. And do you plan to sell the AI suitcase and make lots?
So it's a great question. So actually, we have been testing this AI suitcase with many users. We had great positive feedback from users. One said, I have never experienced to walk with such confidence after I became blind. Or somebody said, I want to give the robot a name like my guide dog. So anyway, users really like it. But okay, so we are now, our AI suitcase currently is a research prototype. And of course, we want to deliver this technology to users. But, we have to have some strategy to send it to a user. Because currently, the price would be a little bit expensive for each end user to afford. So we have to have some business model, something like a B2B2C. So we are now really discussing who can run this business, who can run the AI suitcase as a business. And we don't have the right answer right now, but, we will keep working to find the answer. But also, it is very important, even if the product is ready, if we can find the right investor and if the product is ready, it's not enough. Because autonomous robots like the AI suitcase need to be allowed by law. So sometimes the law is slower than the technology.
Yeah.
So we have to, communicate with society by, sharing the progress and safety of the technology. And we must keep communicating with society for the mutual understanding. So, so this is what I always believe. Invention and implementation are pair of wheel for concept. Great invention cannot change our lives if the technology does not, if users cannot use the technology or if the technology is